just wouldn't work if we would try to monetize everybody. It's really about this network, and a lot of them could not afford the subscription, and the whole business wouldn't work if people couldn't join for free.
If you don't have a community, you don't really have a product, you can't match anything. With a free trial, the users will actually experience what is the actual product.
It's really hard to get them to use the app every day and see exactly what it is about.
The apps that are really succeeding, they're definitely not just trying to get users into the paying state, but also really having to work hard at subscriber retention. That first session in the app really needs to continue and fulfill that expectation correctly, right? And kind of any break in that continuity is going to break trust with the user.
The attention span of users is really so short, and you really have to nail it in your onboarding flow to convince users should understand like what kind of user personas do you have, and trying to build an onboarding process for each user persona.
If you're not sure about these user personas and exactly who's using the app, then talk to your users, right? That would be my first point.
I think it's really important that you understand what problems people have when they see your paywall first.
You'll be surprised how much users are willing to talk to you if you actually reach out to them.
People are not afraid to pay for an app, they're afraid to lose their money. And if you're not transparent with them, you're not able to establish trust. And trust is fully necessary to be able to convert and retain people. Explaining the value, customizing the experience, and setting the expectation by being transparent.
It has to be kind of salesy enough with flashy colors, and you have to nail the CTA, but at the same time you have to build trust.
Conventional wisdom says stick a video on your paywall, it's going to convert better, right? Unfortunately, there is no kind of golden rule for paywalls, and that's why you have to experiment so much.
Blindly following benchmarks is never a good idea.
When you optimize your paywall, but first of all, different countries act in a completely different way, but even within the same countries, things changes so fast, like you need to test things over and over.
You need a lot of users to get any significant result, and especially on the paywalls, I think you have to do A/B tests.
So is it just one subscription that we place? Is it 3 subscriptions? 3 work best for us? It's really a combination of creative ideas that you have in order to test your paywall, solid hypothesis, but also really small steps like in the UI, in the content. You need to have these experiments, otherwise you're just too slow and you're potentially just eaten up by your competitors.
It's not only a question of how much will all those experiments cost to you. You just won't do them if there is too much friction. If you need to update an app every time you want to change a price, a free trial length, the messaging of your paywall and so on, you won't do it because your developer, they're going to tell you, okay, choose core feature or experiment on the paywall. That is not certain to work.
Like to not keep the product and marketing team separate, because I think in the product, you have a lot of designer and engineers, but sometimes they don't see the business side. The marketeer are the people that are bringing all the traffic, that being organic or that being paid. It doesn't really make sense. There are a lot of ideas missing.